There's still like 3 more episodes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, we shall have the task of dealing with Your Honor, with season 2, episode 7. Why is there 3 more episodes? We asked the question. Because no, like I say the story should have been who killed my wife, and that got solved in 2 episodes. Like this whole Rico bullshit is not what I want to get into. Like I don't need Rosie Perez back. That's just my personal opinion. But I digress.
It ain't just yours.
Damn it. Stacey, the graduator. What's your thoughts on episode 7?
Many things wrong with this show. You would call me first. I had a lot of thoughts last night. I can't think of it right this second.
We can come back.
Yeah, come back to me in like 2 minutes. I'll have my thoughts together.
Kim, are you prepared? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, I watched it at the auto place. So anywho, it was yeah. It I feel like it should have been more to, like, I thought this was it. Like this is it. Number 7, we're done, right? Because it kind of wrapped up some storylines, right? But then I was like, so wait a minute. So we're not going to get the answer to, like, there's still storylines that are open. And then
such as what storyline is open that you really care about?
None, really. I don't care about anything.
All right, because I'm confused right now. Like, what are you like? Yeah, my God, I need to know.
Well, let me see. Like, what happens to the judge now? That's what I want to know.
He's living his best life. He's on parole with no parole officer. I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck is that parole officer that we just what?
Off camera.
Stop it.
Okay, this is the thing. They haven't told us what he was charged with in the first place, right? So now we get to the ending and we don't know his real ending, because what happens now, right? And then what happens with Charlie? Like Charlie, because Charlie did what he did. He hit the car for the judge, right? And he asked the cop to do it. So there's some involvement here, right? I mean, I know that he apologized, but okay. And then Fia sitting on the stairs, I'm like, bitch, this man just got out of jail. His mother-in-law is wealthy. He's not wealthy. So why are you sitting here with your daggone baby and your family is loaded? Like, I would have to suck it up until I could get myself together, right? Like, get a job and then, move out on my own. I'd have to suck up how terrible my parents are. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've seen in a moment. I'm like, Fia, what? Like, he doesn't even have a place to live. He's living with his mother-in-law. Why are you there?
How did she even get there?
Exactly. And then why is Eugene still around? I thought he died. They should have let him die. I'm sorry. I know he's a kid, but his storyline has gone on just a bit too long for me. Just let Eugene either die or go back to Houston. Texas? Houston. Go back to Houston and that'll be fine. He goes to school, everything is erased. So anywho, but other than that, my rant is over. But I still say there was no reasonable reason why they needed a season 2, except they just love Bryan Cranston and just wanted to have him on screen for more time for some reason. I don't know.
I hear you. So let's mix it up. Stacey, are you ready now? Oh, you wrote it down? Okay.
It just came to me.
Please.
Okay, so Baxter's had to pay. Now Big Mo has to pay because a child ate drugs that his brother was dealing, and Big Mo wasn't there, but it's somehow her fault, not the brother's fault or the child's fault or all the other gangsters that were there or the dude that was cutting it so strong that it killed him. None of their fault.
Absolutely.
It's the black woman's fault whenever black men do stuff. I don't understand it.
We will further.
It goes back to the garden.
Because of slavery.
It goes earlier than that to the garden. It goes back to the garden still. We haven't let that go.
So it's Eve's fault. Got it.
Yeah, we haven't let that go. We like, damn, we gave you a rib, like a rib.
And then Eugene in the hospital, the cop says, "This isn't a Hispanic boy. Not that this isn't a 40-year-old man. This isn't a Hispanic boy. Hispanic is not a race, boys and girls. You can be Hispanic and all. Plus, the actor's last name is Flores. So he might actually be Hispanic.
That could be a Haitian name too. Flores is a Haitian name too.
Either way, Hispanic doesn't have necessarily a look. It's just whatever. So he ignored that this isn't a 40-year-old. Just say, oh, it's not Hispanic. I don't know why that bothered me, but it really did. The whole, okay, I knew the mayor was going to be like involved in the whole murder thing some kind of way. I felt like it had something to do with him, either directly or indirectly. Anyway, that's all I have for now.
Out real quick. We'll come around. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I find it funny that we got all just 2 episodes of the whole thing with the wife, and just like that, it just goes away. Just this is gone. Like this was supposed to be a big part of season 2, and it's just like, all right, we done now. We're done. We got the guy. We got him. Like, we can pack it up and go home. Where's bring back Rosie Perez now? Like, I was like, oh shit, god damn it! Like, I saw the previews for the next episode, and she's like, oh, I think Bryan Cranston says, I'm like, you're back or something. He's like, you're back. He's like, yeah, you can't get rid of me. I still need you. I'm like, oh shit. Like, now what? Like, now y'all were asking how did Thea know where he lives. Everybody apparently got Mike's phone tapped and got his GPS location on his phone. That's how everybody know where he at. You know what I mean? So yeah, there you go. That's that answer, including that cop. The cop just knew exactly where he was at as well, apparently. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with that. He didn't he radio it in too? So there's a record of that. And all of a sudden the guy disappears. Not only that, now, especially if I'm not mistaken, like in Louisiana, all cops are required to have like dashboard cams. I mean, I know that I guess they don't want you to be thinking about stuff like that, but they're going to know that you're missing, and not no damn black gloves is going to stop that. But whatever. Not only did I already kind of think that Charlie was involved, I actually thought the detective might have been involved too. I thought when she was like asking the dude for the name or whatnot, I thought it was going to be her. I thought she was the other cop or whatnot. And I thought she was going to pull the trigger on him, but like, idiot wouldn't talk. Like, you know what I mean? I thought that was going to be like,
that would have been good.
I truly did. I truly thought that she was going to be the other cop. You know what I mean? But you know, that wasn't the case, I guess. He's not this episode. I don't know. This show goes all over the place. I forgot that Thea is 17, and she's already putting all kinds of feels and hits on that priest, which is super cringy. It's really weird, man. And that priest, like in his late hours, and you're talking to a 17-year-old, you need where's Chris Hansen at, dude? This is just weird. I just found that all
call
weird.
her over, bro. I mean, she's the one that was like, hello, priest that I just met, and I don't believe in Christ. Could you please counsel me? I was like, is this the best man? Like, I've seen this before, but that made more sense because he knew him. Like, they had a relationship. What the fuck? They knew him. Excuse me.
I also in agreement of the whole thing about Big Mo being responsible too. I mean, however, it looks like Big Mo is going to be the new Baxter, and she will be the one that's going to have to pay. So that whole thing I think is going to be I don't know. That whole thing is going to be interesting. I just knew they weren't going to go that way. I think you guys were hinting that little Mo is going to get revenge for getting whooped, getting his ass whooped, and being kicked out of Desire. But it looks like that might possibly happen. Hell, when he was looking at the D on his chest, I actually thought he was going to take like a razor and just like cut it off.
Just
I
cut
don't know
that
why.
shit off. I mean, too.
I don't know why I thought he was going to do that.
Because that's what you should have did. Or why are we looking at his chest? Like this, like that's the only reason you would show it, is that he's like, no, this is not who I am anymore. And they're like, nah, we just want to let you know he has, a breast, I guess. I don't know
he has a breast.
what?
I personally like Eugene. I mean, but they've been doing the story for a good long time now. So I thought it was kind of funny that he basically says his name like Candyman, and then it just whisks the boogeyman away. Like it's like, I'm Eugene Jones. And he's like, shit.
Oh shit.
He said Beetlejuice.
Oh
God
damn it. Everyone knows, but no one.
I'm melting.
It's like Eugene.
I'll commit suicide later. Like,
That's
like
the man who cannot be named, but he died a year ago. So who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And why do I give a fuck?
The only thing that was missing is everyone in the hospital, even like the patients were around, like, oh, you're Eugene. Like, everyone just recognized. That's what I wanted. It would have been super ridiculous, but
it's Kaiser Sose.
Yeah.
It's Kaiser. I was like, sorry.
I find it interesting that the last episode, I think it was either you or Jamani, David, that was saying like, "Oh, that girl's gone." Bryan Cranston's
his random ass,
like yeah, it's like, "Oh, she's
interest.
gone." We're like, we won't see her again. And literally, that was so here she is randomly. I thought they just forgot about her. No one's forgotten in this damn show. Not even Frank is not in this right now, but Frank will be back. Frank is going to group up with Desire to team up to get Jimmy, and the Baxters will pay.
Oh shit, I love it.
Yeah.
This
episode's ridiculous, but mostly because of the whole thing with the wife thing, man. Like it's just so weird how they just kind of like try to tie the bow off of this after already kind of putting all kinds of crazy shit in season 1 already about this. You know what I mean? Like we didn't get the gangster that apparently that his wife was with. You know what I mean? All this other shit, and then this mysterious cop. It was so underwhelming, man. It was just so freaking underwhelming, and I felt like I got cheated with this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, and now I guess Carla's the new Frank. Is he the new Frankie now? Is he?
I don't even know what the fuck they're doing with that. I don't even know what that makes no sense. It almost looked like he was trying to get back at Gina. I felt like somebody was trying to stick it to her.
That was. Oh yeah,
Because then she was like, he needs his rest. Don't do my boy like that. Like what? Like I thought you thought he was the future. Like what happened to that? I'm like, he just got in a car accident. He always got killed by a kid. So I'm not sure how much secure you can feel right now. He left your grandchild with a random ass woman, and you never even addressed that.
That's right.
Gina should have been whooping that girl's ass for no reason. To be like, you don't touch my grandchild. Who is this hoe? Like,
whoop her ass, and after you don't whooping her ass, whoop his ass.
Then whoop his ass. Like what? But none of this gets addressed. Fuck.
That's pretty much it. Just a lot of random shit. I mean, I have no words. I'm done.
Jamani, what do you got, sir? Please.
All right, if y'all are ready.
All right, you got your hands. You rubbed your hands. Oh, this is gonna be real. All right,
where's the Birdman?
I feel like with Lee, I feel like it's just like they can get certain actors at certain times.
Yes.
And they're like, we have a premiere date, and they're like, we'll just adjust the show according to people's schedules. And it was just like, because it seems like, okay, Eugene went to her door, she wasn't there, and it's like, okay, she wasn't available. That's why she didn't answer. But now she's available. So let's pick that scene right back up from there.
Yes.
I was like, what?
What?
All of that stuff is just like, I've seen shows where they do the whole cartoon comic book, we reset after a few episodes or a season or something. This show has taken that to the highest level, because I'm like, all of that stuff is just like with him being in Houston, it's just like null and void now. It's just get all of that. It's almost like it never happened. You could say pick up from episode 10 of last season and start watching this episode if you just care about Eugene's story. That's you missed nothing.
Fair. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm like,
it would actually make more sense because Lee and her were the last one talking. It would actually make more sense because Lee was like, hey, boy, I would take care of you, but I'm just going to walk off and never see you again. Oh, never mind. I'm here to get you after you got shot because you showed up to my house. It would make more sense.
I'm like, she's like, I called you about a dozen times and then you were reported dead. And I just said, okay.
not gonna show up to the funeral or nothing, or just ask about you or nothing.
Or investigate, the calls, or give this evidence to somebody,
or go see my boyfriend who's been in jail for a year for a reason I don't even know, and like not even address that. They think he got out of prison, and she hasn't even followed up with him yet.
And this is what I want to know, right? The biggest thing about the show is that you have story A with Mike, right, and you have story B with Eugene, right? Why is it that we have yet to have gotten any sort of Mike has never even said Eugene's name. This is the guy who killed your son, right? This is the guy who killed your son, right? He seems to have more animosity for Jimmy Baxter than the actual man who killed his son. Like, he doesn't mention his name. He doesn't reference him. It is like Eugene never existed in Mike's mind. It's like they never even mention, or like no one, not even just him, no one even says anything about Eugene to Mike. It's
okay.
like,
all right. Well, he's already dead. So like, I mean, he's been dead for a year apparently.
But they talk more. They mention Rocco, and he's been dead since the first episode of the series.
I hear you. But if Eugene is already dead, theory, then that's been taken care of, quote unquote. Like now that he's magically alive, if now Mike should be like, oh shit, he should be somehow working with Gina to have Eugene murdered. But Mike knows the story though. Mike knows the story. He knows this is his fault. This is all Adam's fault.
It's his fault and Adam's fault. And to be honest, if it wasn't for that, Eugene wouldn't even been in a situation where his brother Coffee wouldn't even been killed in the first place.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. I think Michael at least is sympathetic in the sense of like knowing that where Eugene was placed in all of this.
Yes.
So he would not be the type of person to take revenge on Eugene. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So with Mike knowing, question is, will Mike know everything? Will he know as much as the viewer knows? Like now he knows Charlie played some sort of role in his wife's murder. Is he going to find out that that Charlie played the same role in, so to say, Eugene supposedly being dead and not being dead with the same cop? Because that's the cop that he calls and everything like that. Is he gonna say, well, because I'm like, maybe that might have played some sort of part or role in, I don't know, in him basically confessing, because the stories were like, you never see Mike in the actual flashback, so to say. You don't know when exactly in that timeline
he confessed.
Yeah, he confessed.
And why?
If he confessed, like after he found out Eugene is dead, and it's like, oh, it's all over. Everybody's dead. So it's like, well, I guess I'll confess now. But if he's like, Eugene is alive, then he might have more.
Not confessed.
Yeah.
No, he confessed immediately after Adam was killed because Nancy picked him up, took him to the police station, which doesn't make any sense, and then somehow stuck him in an interrogation room and read him his rights for some reason, and then he just started confessing. This is way before Eugene was supposed to be killed.
That could have happened over hours. Eugene was supposed to be disappeared within a certain amount of hours. This was the same night, basically. You understand what I'm saying?
No, we He confessed first. I think it's pretty settled that he confessed first, and Eugene's supposed death was really for society. Really, I mean that kind of happened a little bit later, but Mike was already in jail by then. Like he was already fucked. I mean, so one, I see where you're trying to go with that, but one ain't got nothing to do with the other. In that situation, so he didn't confess because Eugene is killed. He confessed because his only reason for living and not lying is gone, and that's Adam. So that's why he confessed, because
his world is gone. Like his wife is gone, and then now his son is gone.
Stop it, DeMarcus.
But okay, so let me get to the criminal justice aspect.
Oh,
this was I was thoroughly enjoyed with the action of the episode, right? Okay. But in reflection, this was the most like I was like, this is the biggest bullshit that I've ever seen. Like I have to suspend so much disbelief, right? So the most straight-laced cop in Nancy, right, is now committing the most violent police brutality that like is so uncharacteristic. Like it, and you can say, well, you know, this was a fellow cop, and you know, he betrayed
the people in blue and his
and all of that type of stuff. But it's like, if you know that, you're basically helping him get off, because in what world do you say, okay, so now I'm going to not do stuff by the book. I'm just going to go rogue and get all the evidence that I can get in 2-3 hours with a warrant with inside of his phone, because I just have to have it right now. It can't wait 2-3 hours. What was the emergent threat? Nothing. And then I call this in, and then I just
leave.
I handcuff a shot fellow police officer to a gate, and I just leave.
Leave his happy ass. What if he gets away? Like, what if he dies? Like, you're going to jail because you let this suspect die, and you tortured him, which means, and she did not read him the Miranda rights, which means none of this shit is admissible. Like this whole case.
I can get past that, because Miranda rights are, you're notifying. He's a cop.
That's bullshit.
It can be applied that it can be stated legally. It can be asserted legally that he already knows his Miranda rights. He's a cop.
All right. I felt it was kind of much with that. Lee's reintroduction was silly as fuck, but people think we just focus on the positive. So I want to talk about some of the good parts. I want to acknowledge positively that somebody wrote this comment like, why y'all review shows if you hate them so much? I was like, we don't review shows that we hate. Like, we review shows that we like, but then we go, this don't make no damn sense because it doesn't make any sense. Like, we're not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. But anywho, I would say I like the idea, and I said before, I like the idea that we got into who killed Robin. I like the idea that Charlie was involved, and I was really, really happy because I thought Charlie intentionally got Robin killed because he was part of the underground of the criminal cops. I thought he like ran the whole thing, and she was about to get involved. I was waiting for that to be like, bro, you killed my wife, or maybe he was sleeping with her. Then that's why I thought maybe she was one of the many black men that was getting the draws. And he was like, she was cheating on me with the fucking reporter and this thug dude with the hat. And I was like,
how do we know that that's not the case?
That's not.
Well,
It's not.
Can I just play devil's advocate?
Please.
I'm like, they said he came in. He said, you know, he's dead. Yeah, I know he's dead already. And I'm already writing a press release about it. I'm like, there's nobody else to contradict anything he says.
I hear you, but these writers, by Mike's reaction to his friend saying, I happened to call the cop who happened to be crooked and happened to get another guy to kill your wife, and Mike just gets on the bus and goes home and cries, this story's over. Like you're not going to find out that this is all intentional. You're just not, and you should have. Because that would have been a story. Like I would have dealt with that. But this is that bullshit. Like you got my hopes up, and then you got, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that my dirty cop was dirty, and he happened to get your wife killed. I just didn't say anything, bro. You know how it is. And Mike is like, okay, I'm just gonna get on the bus. Oh, what?
So there's not that much blame for that, but there's a whole bunch of blame for Big Mo and about giving a 13-year-old a balloon.
That is just the way we do it. Like, we don't take responsibility for shit.
That's true.
We always got to blame somebody else. Like, drug dealers blaming the head drug dealer for a drug dealer's kid taking drugs is the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
I understand the mother. I only understand the mother's outfit because like when you're grieving that hard, like, you know what I mean? Like obviously, yes, like you obviously look at your son's fault, but a lot of times you also blame the people that surround them that got them to do that in the first place. You know what I mean? You're not looking at it like in that. Unfortunately,
I'm just saying money from selling drugs. She wasn't blaming him when he came home with money from selling drugs.
I absolutely was going to say that. I was about to say
well, if she takes that money, if she winds up taking the money for that funeral, then yeah, you know.
I was about to say the exactly same
thing. He was sitting there talking shit, but he took the money anyway.
Also,
I'm not talking about the brother.
I agree with everything that you're saying, but the flip side of it,
Jemani.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, damn. Damn, what touch like your dog?
Right. Kim had a point. She was trying to say, Kim.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say that I agree with Chris and Stacy. That the mother is full of shit because you are hugging and your son is the reason why your baby son is dead. It's not Mo's fault that you didn't raise your son with any kind of sense, that he should get a real job. Like, he's a drug dealer. You know he's a drug dealer. Your baby son was always in danger of something happening to him. Either he might get kidnapped, he might get shot. There's so many things that could happen to this little boy because he's associated with his brother, who is a drug dealer, right? So you're gonna sit there and blame it on Big Mo? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is
but kind of similar to what David said. That's just what we do.
No, and she took the money. Okay.
As Stacey pointed out, the brother took the money.
The brother took the money.
The brother took the money.
Maybe like if the next episode we see they had this lavish wedding and we're like, this lavish funeral, then we'll be like,
she was getting money from her. Let's not even.
No, I think you're thinking of the Snoop Dogg funeral. I think you're thinking of. You're thinking of the BM. Maybe I'm mixing two shows together. I'm sorry. I'm more than BMF to this.
She said it's implied that at some point he's gonna give the money to the mom. But
that's what I'm saying.
That's what. Yeah.
If you take the money and you've been taking the money from your son, who does not have a regular job, he's a drug dealer, she's wrong. She is absolutely wrong.
If she did, if she wanted.
If she did, come on, Chris, you know damn well.
I don't know.
All these drug dealers. Like crap. Oh, wait a minute.
Her house looked like nothing. If he's the worst drug dealer ever.
Drug dealers inside her house. If your mother if your mother's not down,
her house was like Franklin's house in season 1.
Okay,
you know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's just like
if your mother's not going to allow any of those people in her house if she's not down with it.
Yeah, I'm not. I know. I agree with that. Well, all I was trying to say is like I'm like to the point of what David was saying is just like on the mother's stance. That's just what's going to happen. That's what the mother's going to do when they grieve that hard. Like, you know what I mean? That's just one of the stages of grief. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, maybe that portion of grief might not actually be a rational one, but that's just what happens. You're going to blame the biggest, the one up on the top. You know what I mean?
And
that's just how it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, but that's just what happens. In the words of David, that's what we do.
She wants to point out, like, one of us got 2 kids.
One of us got 2 boys.
Yeah, but I guess my point, that doesn't stop what they did in the show as it being inaccurate, what a mother might not do. You know what I mean?
She's wrong. Even if that's the truth, Chris. She's wrong.
She's wrong.
Right. I didn't say what she did was a moral compass of what she should have done. I'm just saying that as a mother, I could see how she could do that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. To not say that she should not do 10 Hail Marys after it. Just saying that is something that they would do.
And creep on the priest. But we'll get that. Jemani, please. So what do you got?
Okay. To negate and affirm what you guys are saying. It was all about the one line that Little Mo said. She cares more about that club than any of us or anything else. It was about that she had the money to get the good drugs and to because he said I should have gotten rid of this when I had the chance. So it was about them, the two people who were actually in Desire saying, yeah, this is about Little Mo putting the club and her girl over the actual gang in the business, because
I agree with
had
that.
the opportunity to take the drugs off the street, get the good drugs, but she chose the club and then tried to backpedal with the bad drugs.
That's right. Sure, Jemani. That's true. That whole scene right there made no fucking sense. I'm like, you guys are drug dealers trying to blame a drug dealer for dealing drugs, and you're like, no, because she dealt the bad drugs. But how did Little Mo even get there? Like, how is his eye automatically fixed? Like, these are issues. Like when you first saw
his eye was fucked up. I thought his eye was fucked up.
Make everything better.
Not at the funeral, not the whatever the fuck. When he showed up to the house, both his eyes were wide open and he was fine. When you saw
it wide open? Oh, okay. Maybe
when he was in the bathtub, he was like, "Mama." I was like, only in Tyler Perry have I seen this silly shit.
Did you just say "Mama"?
He was like, I can't.
Could he have put some ice on it and maybe it went down?
It was a bubble bath, people.
Maybe
he was sleeping at bubble bath. Maybe that's why his eye was so low.
Calgon took the pain away.
It works.
I can't. I was like, nah, bro.
And how many days have gone past between him getting beat out the gang and this funeral day?
Yeah, it could have been like a week, maybe. You know what I mean?
If it was a week, he could have, got the swelling down.
Wait, I don't think that this was a funeral. This was just people gathering.
You know what I'm saying? Not funeral.
Because I'm saying that he got beat out, and then the next day they were shipping Eugene off. So this is only like a day and a half later.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. It just, again, they showed the bruises. That he needed both eyes so he could look into the eyes of the person he was talking to. I mean, I don't know. Let's not do this. But I thought again, all of a sudden now she has to deal with her own people, but also she has to deal with Gina, I guess. Speaking to Jemani's point of scheduling, did you notice that Grandpa wasn't there? He magically was in the room and was not involved in any of the family business. Like, I think his schedule was like, I can't act today, so y'all work this shit out. No, I'm for real, because I mean, to Jemani's point, Lee all of a sudden came back. What the fuck? Like, I mean, like, she was unnecessary, but as fucking Jimmy is not accepting the deal with a great compromise, I understand. Daddy would have been there. Daddy would have been there to either be like, this is a good idea, you need to do more, that's not what I agreed to. He would have been in that conversation. So like, he must have been like, the actor must have been like, I'm just not available today, so y'all just move forward.
And they're all over the place with Jimmy's character too.
He whoops his man's ass, and all of a sudden he got big balls. Now he can be like, it's okay. I'm gonna eat some pasta and everything's fine. I was like, this what?
I did love that part. You know why? Only because Gina was pissed. He was eating the spaghetti.
Oh,
it was just one. I just hate this bitch. So I was like, you know what? He's just fucking with her for real. He was just fucking with her, and I love that he was doing that to her.
But I did, to your point, the calmer he was, the madder she got.
Yes, and it was
like that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious.
I was like, yeah, that's what he should be doing. Because she's a crazy bitch.
She is. She was like, Fia will be back, or she won't. I mean, fuck. No. She has nowhere else to go. I love that the writers were being real. He was like, what the fuck else is she gonna go? Like, she'll be back, but then she forgot about grandpa, second grandpa, who doesn't have a job, doesn't live in his own house. So like, Daddy will be called at some point to be like, you need to come get your daughter and this random ass grandchild. And I'm like, but I was like,
Gina's gonna come there with the Pampers and the milk.
There you go. Where's the supplies? Like, I got those supplies. There was no baby in that crib when she was pushing it, the stroller. When she was pushing it in the church, there was no baby in that. I was like, stop it.
Not even maybe it was like a little doll or something. It wasn't a doll, nothing.
It was a soundtrack at best.
It was a little cassette tape.
Like, I was like, stop it. Why are we doing this? But again, acknowledging the obvious. I'm a 17-year-old single mother who hasn't graduated high school. What the fuck else am I? Where am I going? I'm like, yes.
She's 17.
Yes.
I know, right? That's what they wanted.
He was a little old.
That's what when she said it in the church, I was like, so you're just like, there's no reason for you not being in high school. You just you just didn't want to go. And then and I'm like, I thought she was when she went to the church, I was like, oh, so this is like I'm relinquishing the baby to the church, like no questions asked.
Oh, you thought
that's
what
I thought we were gonna get in
Gangs of London or something. You thought it was Gangs of London or whatever. It was like, here, take this baby.
I thought she was gonna marry the priest. I thought that's on the table. That's
married a priest. Okay, this atheist of a girl all of a sudden.
Hey, the way she was looking at this dude when he was like, maybe you need to be a place you didn't think you needed to be, and then they just panned to her face, and she was like licking her lips and shit. She was like, wait a minute, options.
Dave, you watch a lot of Ray Donovan, okay? That's some Ray Donovan shit right there.
No, wait, hold on. I'm not Catholic, but I'm like, I'll let the right one in this show. I'm just like, so like the church is just always open. And they're priests that take like the night shift or something like that. Like they
like, I work open. There are churches that some of them are always
but I'm saying like the priest is like I know you come in, but I'm like the priest is like I work the night time. I work the night shift.
No, but sometimes the priests actually they live upstairs
in the church,
or they live next door. Yeah, there's always somewhere for the pastor to live.
Yeah,
there's usually like a small house. Or inside the church, they have like a studio apartment or something like that.
Yeah,
and they
I guess the point is, why isn't this nigga sleep?
Yeah, they're there for the
nigga should have been asleep. I mean,
off camera, she called the priest and was like, "I'm coming over." He got up, opened up the church, and was like, "You can come stay with me for a couple of days until you."
I was about to say, let's not pretend like this church is the tomb of the unknown soldiers, like where it's always manned like 24/7, and then they switch guards for like what I mean, like that's not. I mean, yes, it might be open, so it's 7-Eleven, but I know sometimes I go to 7-Eleven, there's sometimes I go in there and I'm like, damn, ain't no one behind the counter. I could just take this shit. So I'm just
the Lord never sleeps. I'm just saying he could have called the guy who was sleeping. I'm saying to resolve this issue again, he should have been like, you can stay here. I got up to open the door because it was kind of weird that in the middle of the night he's just still walking the floor. That was kind of stupid. Yeah. But stay here, get your shit together, figure out what you're gonna do. Showing up to another person's house because some guy lives there because you think grandpa's gonna help take care of you and this child doesn't make any sense. It would make more sense for her to stay with the priest, at least or something. I mean, because the church has.
She don't have any like aunts or uncles
or friends.
She has nobody. It's just her and that damn family.
And Rocco.
My question is, she just showed up and she just stood outside. Like I can see if she pulled up and like they got there at the same time.
Yes.
Or something. But she's just standing outside in the middle of the night with the kid. I was just like, how long were you going to wait? Were you expecting him to come? What if he did not come?
Absolutely true.
Like, did you?
That made no sense. Like
the great grandmother, she was in town the same day. Did you ring the doorbell?
Also true.
All I know is for the next man that decides to date someone like Thea, that right there is red flags. That's some clingy ass shit, and just be careful of that shit. Meeting outside your door like that, like, and you barely, dude, like, you call first, all right? You call, like, you don't just show up, with a baby. This is
not a boyfriend. This is a grandpa.
It's still clingy.
Adam. The grandfather, where in the last episode said we should no longer meet again, and you still showing up. What you think you're gonna do in an actual relationship? Man,
he says that in the next episode for the preview.
Red flags.
No, he's right. Same thing happened with Adam. I need this young lady to find out her baby daddy killed her brother. I need it so she can go, what the fuck? And like, you know what? I'm sorry, mama and daddy.
Yeah. We don't even know if she knows or not.
She do
Holy
not.
Shit.
Dude, well, let's just say they haven't said that she knows. We can't say, because this is not written very well, so we don't know.
So David, the reason why I can understand why Kim says that, right? Because how is it that her entire family knows and they can talk about it freely, and then somehow she just but it's just kept from her. You see what I'm saying? So it would seem kind of odd that she does not know.
Hence why she still holds Adam to an esteem. She's still like, that's my baby. She memorializes Adam too much to know the truth. And then because she knew the whole story that fucking Mike is the one that helped him cover up all this shit. There's no way in the world she'd be sitting at grandpa's house like this, because she sees him as the other Adam. I can't have Adam, so I got Mike. She wouldn't be doing that.
But would she not know why he went to jail? Well, shit, Charlie didn't even know.
No one knows. We still don't know, and we see everything. So seeing Jimmy eat the pasta and how crazy that looked reminded me when we watched him take a piss. For some reason, it's just like focusing on details that don't matter.
Season 1,
just to be
that's
like,
right. In season 1, he opens up the toilet and
I was like, why are we?
I was like, why are we watching this?
Why are we like? There's other things that need to be. And then Frankie's still laying on the ground, ass whoops in the hospital. And then wait, wife goes, "Where's Frankie?" And at that very moment, she goes, "Hey, what happened to your fucking knuckles? Look here, detective.
1+1 is
maybe you whooped this man's ass. Like he just let me do it." I was like, this don't make no kind of sense. Again, this misdirected anger. I was like, he beat up the wrong person. Someone else did that in this episode, and I thought about it.
This episode?
Somebody beat somebody, and I'm like, huh?
In this one?
I felt like
it was
somebody,
this episode.
Oh, you know what? Snowfall.
Oh, see,
I haven't
you're doing me. You're merging shows together.
We are not talking about Snowfall.
My fault. I was anyway.
Oh, you're talking about. I know you're talking about. You're talking about the first episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't watched it,
Stacey? I know we talked about this in particular.
I watched last season, the last episode of last season.
Oh, you haven't watched it,
and I'm gonna watch it tonight. So
yeah, it's worth watching. So Stacey and I keep on talking about this because it keeps on happening, and I'm tired of these writers. I'm tired of the bullet through the shoulder. I'm tired of the arm sling. I am.
There was no arm sling. That could have probably made him not pass out if he had the arm sling.
I'm tired of facial recognition. I am fucking tired. It doesn't matter the show. It doesn't matter the station or the writer. They've gone to a school that tells them, you know how you get from point A to point B? Facial recognition. That any problem, facial recognition.
David, to your point, 5 years ago,
not doing anything, guys. I got my phone in my face.
They use thumbprints just
Dave, did you used to watch a lot? I mean, I don't know how recently you watched Law and Order, but have you watched Law and Order just a few years ago? Because a few years ago, like you will always see, like, especially when you watch Criminal Intent, they will like take, like, sometimes like it will be someone deceased and they'll take their fingerprint. So it'll be like the fingerprint ID phones, and then I guess now that it went to the Face ID. So at least they're staying consistent with what I'm saying over the years. They're staying consistent.
At least they're keeping up with technology, right?
Give me once where they try and it doesn't work, but like I'm like, damn it! When I saw Nancy do this shit, I was like, fuck.
Well, she asked first. She asked. She said, "What's your passcode?" He didn't want to give it to him. So then she said, "Fine, I'll get your facial then." So it's not like she went straight to that. See, at least she asked.
Okay, so I have a question. Maybe I have a Samsung, so I don't. So does what? Okay, if you put the passcode in, is wrong, right? My phone just asked me to put it in again.
Yeah.
It doesn't say facial recognition unless you have that set up. Right?
That's my point, Kim.
So I'm saying, so that doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, say it again.
You
have to set it up. It's not automatic. You have to go in there and fix that. Then you have to say, like, do you have facial recognition? Yes, I do. But and then they scan the face. Like, I'm okay with that. But every show acts like every fucking phone, just to keep the story moving, can automatically be open with your face. They did it in Power Book 2. They did it in The Oval this fucking week. Yeah. They did it in this show right here. And I'm like, God damn it. If they do it,
the problem is if you have an
iPhone,
not reviewing it. Well, I guess the problem is if you have an iPhone, you have to put a 6. It's like you had to put, was it 6 digit every time? So I thought I was going to stay away with the facial recognition, and then after doing it for so long, I realized like this is taking too long, and then so I wound up like succumbing to it, and then wound up saying, "Fine, I'll do the facial thing." So now I do the facial thing. But it was because of how long it takes.
She first asked for a passcode, right?
Yeah,
right.
So when you first asked for a passcode, he didn't say anything, right? So then she was like, well, I'll just do face recognition.
Yeah, you can do if you have an iPhone, you can do either or.
No.
You have to set that. You have to set that.
What are you talking about? I have that right here.
You have to do
like if I don't have my face on it, it's going to ask for my passcode. It's like it does right here. You probably can't see it right now.
We're just saying you have
to put my face up
to
it, then it switches to face.
It's not automatic.
Most people assume
mine is not on the iPhone thing. It just is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You got to set it up. I got an iPhone.
Mine is passcode. Watch.
No,
I put my
but
face
he's
to
saying
it,
that
and then it
Chris
opens
is
up.
saying he did set it up that way. So I'm saying the cop could have set it up that way.
I'm saying we're all agreeing with the point that you have to set it up, and too many shows are doing it like it's any phone.
So you saying people don't set up phones like that? Is that what you're trying to say?
Chris.
You saying majority of people don't do
I didn't
convenience?
set up my phone for face recognition. I have a password.
I didn't at first either, and then I like everybody else. I just wound up doing it.
A lot of people.
I'm just saying. A lot of people do facial recognition.
Gotcha.
Right. That's true.
I'll say a lot
But they
of people.
shouldn't have had her ask for.
To your point, David, if they show
passcode.
someone that's 70, if a 70-year-old does facial recognition, I'll be like, oh, all right, now that's fake. You know what I mean? Because old people don't be doing that shit. They don't want they don't want their biometrics in there. You know what I mean?
Also,
my aunt is 93 and she does use facial recognition. She has an iPhone.
Well, she probably like, I'm 93. They probably got everything on me already.
Well, because her son kept her
up to date. Real quick, I think we said this last episode, but now that we really identified the cop that was raping KJ and for evidence, for information, for drugs.
The character KJ.
Wait a minute. You know what? I swear my brain went the same place, Chris.
My bad. I had to remember that the character's name was KJ. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. See, I wasn't the only one. Kim thought to say.
No. I'm sorry. No, the character KJ, not Mr. Beats. His booty is fine, I'm sure. But anyway, once we identify, because I got the cops confused, but once we find out the plot convenience. They go talk to KJ. Immediately, the cop that was raping him somehow figures that out, doesn't go kill KJ, doesn't kill the reporter, fucking just happens to pick up Mike, then
knows where he's at.
Knows where he's at. In
someone else's car.
Drags him to a random.
There you go. It's not even his car. You're right.
It then drags him to a random ass location instead of I pulled over a convict on fucking parole. I feared for my life and I shot him. Done. Like, no, we got to go through this whole fucking song and dance that he killed himself in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I'm like, this is too much. I'm like, you are a cop. You could have killed this dude much faster. I'm like, plot.
He was, anytime they talk, like they do this long thing, I'm like, he ain't gonna get it off.
He ain't gonna do it. Also,
he ain't gonna
and just everybody just happened to be where they needed to be just to get the story moving. Like, I get it. Like, you ain't got a lot of time. But
I don't.
I was like, I can't. I don't want to go back to Rosie Perez. I can't.
I didn't realize she was coming back. So.
Oh yeah,
I saw the preview. Oh yeah, she back. Matter of fact, I think Mike even says it. It was like, why are you still here? She's like, you can't get rid of me. I'm like, yeah, we see that. Like,
I think she's back because she wants to get the Baxters, right? So she's got to come back.
No, it's for Fia. For the next episode, it's like they're trying to, now that Fia, I guess Fia is like staying with him now, or whatever. There's like, like she said, at least in previews, like, because like help us to turn Fia Baxter against her family or something like that. So now her angle is through Fia Baxter.
So, but again,
but wait till she finds out what Michael did, what Adam
did,
right?
So maybe this is Dave. I don't know. Maybe there will be a discussion about the whole thing.
Right.
I don't, because she'd be like, "What you did? What, Mike?" Maybe she just kills the whole family.
Because I know she doesn't know about the trial. I know that for a fact. She doesn't know about Carlos.
Well, we don't even know about the trial.
No, I'm talking about Carlos' trial. She doesn't know that Mike fixed Carlos' trial.
Oh. So I was like, So that never came back. Anyway,
were you? How dumb was Lee? Right, you got a kid here that says he was shot by a cop, and you're going to take him to a hospital. Anybody who knows anything about, especially her, will know that the attendants in the hospital will have to report a gunshot victim every time.
She did. It was the doctor who said if he passes out or he loses too much blood, I'm calling the ambulance no matter what, because now she's like,
but isn't that already, but that's suicide is my point. I was all like, yo, fine, I find the nearest veterinarian then. Like, you know what I mean? It's like okay,
no, I'm
serious.
Perry.
Yeah. Oh, is that what he did?
Tyler Perry did the veterinarian.
He's gonna do the 24-hour vet, and then like the vet is like, where's the dog? And
it works. I mean, it worked for Lamar. I mean, you know.
Let's not do that.
Well, Lamar is
Blackie didn't make it,
and he had a gun. So.
Oh no! Oh, that little fake stuffed dog that he.
Dude, man.
Oh my God! I thought it was just me. I was like, this is a stuffed animal.
That was stuff. That thing was. Yes. That was a termidac. That was like what's the term called? A termidax?
No.
No, that was the episode of Barney
there you go.
Where he tells the dog to sit and it just leans over.
I was like,
Yeah,
anyway,
that reminded me that Martin, like, didn't Martin have like a Rottweiler too? Like
yeah,
Martin,
yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah.
a little dog. Like, "Rrr, rrr, rrr." They
I
couldn't
love-
keep it. If y'all watched that, that was a funny episode. They could
It
not keep
was a funny
nobody in that from
episode,
keeping
yeah.
a straight face at all.
Yeah,
I
that
might
was
have, I might
Lee
have
should
that
have
as a
said that
background.
she was his mom. I get, I don't know. He Eugene. It just, so we got Eugene was screaming his name again, like that name was on everybody's lips, and I'm like, no one knows who you are, bro. Like no
I know,
one knows
right?
about
You're
your
like,
dead
who?
family.
well,
But
that
anyway.
police officer did stop.
But that's plot convenience, because that made no sense. Like
And
it's
that's
like
that bullshit.
even more reason why he should be like, oh, you're Eugene, you are under arrest for the whatever the fuck that he's for.
And then what would have happened to that
killing
moment? Like, would that cop officer just like choke him out while he's like, like what would actually
arrest
happen?
him, and then he's resisting arrest as they're transporting him to the jail, and he dies. It happens. Like, I mean, like it's not that hard. It's not that hard to kill this kid. You know, but he was like, "Oh my God, he said his name. I gotta go." Like I said, like Beetlejuice or a fucking Candyman. Anyway, come on, let's get to another silly show, BMF. Any final thoughts, Kim?
No, when is this over?
3 more
Damn.
episodes, and we will.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay.
It's gonna be a long trip,
All right.
but people keep watching, so we keep reviewing. Damn it.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's Bryan Cranston, right? So people are going to continue to watch whether it makes sense or not, because they just miss him, right? Because we love him from Breaking Bad, right?
He's good.
But other than that, I like I said, I love him, and the other actors are fine too. It's just that the story is no reason for this season, so that's what annoys me the most. And you're dragging out stuff that doesn't need to be dragged out. So this really could have wrapped up. I'd say one more episode, we should be done. Especially since we moved so far in one episode, like damn near everything got wrapped up, right? So we only need one. Why do we need 3?
All right, this could have been it for me. For Chris, anything else?
Yeah, this it felt like viewers were probably upset with in season 1 of them bringing up stuff with the wife, and they said like, hey, all right, let's tie this up. You know what I mean? Because I honestly thought the show was going to change for the better, in the sense of, like, even though it would have been kind of random jumping to it, I thought that we were going to get a more focused on the whole story being focused on the wife and whatnot. And we got 2 episodes, bro. Like, if that, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I just feel like at times the show kind of jerks you around a little bit. It's just a lot of randomness happens, and I've seen worse shows than this, so I'm still on board with it, even though, because all the acting in this show I think is awesome. You know, from just about almost everyone. But yeah, it's just the plot just all over the place. So I'm just hoping the next few episodes. Next episode looks ridiculous too from the trailer I saw. So hold on, you know, buckle your seatbelts on that one. But yeah, we'll see though.
Jamani.
I know the creator of the show started the second season, and then went in the middle of it, and it shows. It's like whenever you have these movies and there's like 2 different directors, it's like this show is in so many different directions, and I'm like, this episode is a hallmark of that, because you got the actual killer and then you got the guy next to him all in the same episode. It was like, we're not even trying to drag this out, just all points connected within the same episode. And what I would have liked to see was when he said the guy who always calls me is who called me, right? And it cuts away, and then you hear the gunshot. It could have been Nancy who shot him because, like, I'm trying to protect Charlie, or I have a good relationship or something with Charlie in the year that has jumped or something like that. And we're just going to keep this from Mike or something. Like, her downloading all the information to Mike and him going and confronting Charlie and just wrapping a bow on this. It was just like, so you just wanted this whole story to just go away as quick as
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what was the purpose in this? And the mother-in-law was there before, and now the mother-in-law is nowhere to be found. Like that
she's
is
filming
another
a couple of
scheduling.
shows.
Huh?
She's filming a couple of shows. I see her that she's starring in a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, I'm like, this show should have waited until they had their roster of actors available or paid them enough to prioritize the show or something, because it's like it seems like people were writing the show depending on the actor's availability week to week.
Exactly.
I have no idea where this show is going because I don't know what this show is trying to do.
Yeah. True. I mean, we will see how it goes. Stacey, anything else?
They're waiting on the Baxters to pay.
We will see if that ever happens by any way, but however means that may be. And maybe Thea makes her family pay in the end.
What is Little Mo supposed to be paying now too? According to that,
Big Mo.
Is she?
Yeah, she's now paying. Now she's paying. Because they fuck up a restaurant with, I think that's Gina actually, but it looks like we're gonna get Gina versus Big Mo to some level.
No, I'm saying like is Little Mo going after Big Mo now? After are we getting that?
More maybe. Yeah. I think that's where the show's going. It shouldn't be, but that's where the show's probably going to go.
Yeah. I don't. We'll see, man. We'll see. My final thought. I liked Charlie's statement to the cop of last time I checked. This is a you problem, not a we problem. That shit was hilarious in all facts. So I like it.
It sounded like you in a car. Keep driving.
Click. I was like, no worries. I ain't got no worries. I was like, this is all you, baby. I was like, well played, sir. Anyway, all right, guys. Let's go. Let's take a trip back to 1988 for some reason. And talk about BMF. Oh, it's gonna be a hard one. All right. No pun intended, I suppose. I will see y'all.